there is a paradigm shift in technology. Now, that's something that all stakeholders have to contend with. So winds are afoot, winds are a change.
Starlink is knocking on our doors. As we all know, they have already tied up with two largest telecom operators in India. So two questions in one. One is, how will government ensure that BSNL remains competitive against this onslaught of new technology that is coming in? And the second question is, of course, government has reportedly set tough conditions for Starlink's entry to India. So how do we align that with our goal of promoting fair competition and remaining ahead in technology?
So first of all, let me take a step back and talk about the satellite space. With every couple of years, earlier it used to be eons, and then it translated into decades, and now every couple of years, there is a paradigm shift in technology. Now, that's something that all stakeholders have to contend with. I remember I was taught, I had the good fortune of being taught by the founder of Intel, Andy Grove, at Stanford University when I was at business school. And in our last class, Mihir, it was a 9 a.m. class, he said, I don't want to teach you guys anything today. I wish you guys all the best. I've written something on that whiteboard. The minute I leave, have a look at it and let that stay with you for every day of your life. So we were all like, what has Professor Grove written on that board? And the minute he walked out, those whiteboards that slide one over the other, we drew that up, and there were 4 words written there. Only the paranoid survive. So to survive, you got to be paranoid, and you got to keep moving with the curve. And therefore, satellite technology today is here. And for me, as Telecom Minister, it's complementary. It's not competitive alone, it's complementary. Because satellite technology provides 2 very key resources. Those remote locations where I cannot set up a RAN or a tower, those remote locations where I cannot lay OFC, I take communication to areas and to people in that areas through satellite, number one. Second, God forbid, but if there is a natural disaster and your terrestrial network gets completely destroyed, the only way communication messages happen is through satellite. So for me, it's a complementary solution, not a comparative solution. And as Telecom Minister, it's my job to make sure that my primary stakeholder, which is my consumer, all of us seated in this room, gets as many choices as possible, and then let the consumer decide which service they want to go with. As far as BSNL is concerned, BSNL is already tied up on the satellite network. We are already doing a D2D service, a direct-to-device service, for messages. So BSNL is very much ahead of the curve, and a company which I want to share with you, Mihir, that after 17 years, 18 years, the last time BSNL earned a quarterly profit was in 2007. After 18 years, in the October-December quarter, we have posted a 262 crore net profit within BSNL. So winds are afoot, winds are a change. We've increased our top line as opposed to what I've read in a lot of reports. Our cellular income has gone up by 15%. Our FTTH income has gone up by 18%. Our lease line revenue has gone up by 14%. At the same time, we've cut costs. Revenues, top line has gone up by 9%. Costs have been cut by 18%. And our EBITDA, 9-month Q3 24-25 versus 23-24, has grown from 450 crores to 1,500 crores. There's been a 3x increase in quarterly operating profit. And our net profit, we were a net loss Q3 last year of 1,262 crores, which we've converted to a 262 crore profit in this quarter. So along with all telcos, is India is a competitive environment. India is a competitive space. And I believe that we have 4 telcos providing service, and that will continue to be the case. There are very few countries in the world where you have 4 telecom operators providing service in a country. I was just in Europe, in Barcelona, at the World Mobile Congress. And there is shrinkage happening all across the world as far as telcos are concerned. Telcos are not spending on capex. In India, we've had the fastest 5G rollout in the world. 22 months, 99% of districts, 773 out of 776 districts covered, 82% of population covered, 4.2 lakh crores worth of capital invested by telcos. It's historical what's happening in India. And India is leading that telecom revolution in the world and will continue to do that across every sphere.
Right. So how much time will it take before we see our own version of Starlink, our own company, launching a similar product like Starlink?
Well, I think that depends on the satellite constellations, because we've gone from GEO to LEO and MEO. We had GEO services in India, but that construed a high level of latency and low bandwidth. Now with LEO and MEO, you'll get low level of latency and very, very high bandwidth. We've already given out 2 licenses, one to Reliance and the other to Bharti Airtel, 4 satellites. We have a number of companies that are in the pipeline that have applied. And as I've mentioned on many a forum, we have a pro forma, they tick the boxes, they start operations in India. We welcome them with open arms. India is open for everyone to do business, provided you tick the boxes, you get spectrum, and you start business.
Right. I know you're getting late. Just quick 2 questions on Northeast. First of all, according to you, what are the biggest challenges that we still face as far as development of Northeast region is concerned?
Northeast has changed, ladies and gentlemen. What was considered to be the fringes of India, today is the mainstream of India. And let me tell you why I say that. India is growing at 6.7%, 7% GDP. And it's the power of compounding that is transforming India. If India continues to grow a decadal growth rate of 6.77%, which we've done in the last 10 years of Prime Minister Modi's government, and that's the way that we've been able to lift 25 crore people out of poverty. That's the way we're growing to a $4 trillion economy. That's the way we've gone from 11th largest economy in the world to the 5th largest economy in the world. And that's the way we're going to grow to a $5 trillion economy by 2027 and a $6 trillion economy by 2030. And that's the way we're going to become from the 5th largest economy in the world to the 3rd largest economy in the world by 2028, pushing Japan and Germany to 3rd and 4th and 5th place.
Right. So,
and Northeast is going to be a huge portion of that.